Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about how I built my blind. We built it, it was easy. My hunting buddy and I got it done in a day or so, and I did a little bit of finishing work to it, and I'm going to go ahead and show you right now. So it was roughly about $700, that's the kit and the materials, but I wanted to do more than just that. I wanted to actually put a full-size house door in there, and I wanted to put glass windows behind the shutters. That way we could actually have a heater on, because yes, I ran electricity into it. I wanted to run electricity into it, wanted to have my heater on. I wanted to have the glass windows, that way we could actually stay nice and warm while we're looking out the windows, waiting for the deer to line up so we can shoot them. Okay, what you're going to see here is the edge of our property. We have a well out there, and this is our electric well pump. Even though we have a windmill, that's, I guess, the fallback, right? But it has electricity out there to our well pump. So what I did was I tapped into that electricity, and I ran it into the well, or I ran it into my blind. That was my plan. I ran it through PVC with Romex. I dug a trench for it. I ran it up into the blind. It looks really nice. I'm going to show you some pictures on the inside as well in the second half of this video. I'll go into the inside of the blind and show you the windows and everything else in the second half of this video. But let me show you how I constructed it and show you my choice of paint color wasn't the best, but I'm going to repaint that. I'm going to make it either darker red or I'm going to make it a dark gray. But remember, deer are colorblind. They don't care what color your blind is when you shoot them. They're colorblind. It's just for aesthetics for your own purposes. And that's going to be right over here as well. But let me go ahead and show you what it looked like when I started. It was pretty much nothing. And then we decided to go ahead and put some cinder blocks down kind of for a foundation. We wanted to lift the wood off of the ground. In the instructions it says not to lift the wood off the ground, or actually it doesn't say to lift the wood off the ground. But we wanted to lift the wood off the ground because we don't want stuff to rot in there. Now I know by lifting it off the ground, we're just giving more of a chance for critters and whatnot to get underneath there. But also in the winter time, critters aren't going to want to be underneath there because it's too high off the ground and wind blows through there and it's cold wind. So it's not that big of a deal. So we went ahead and put cinder blocks down, and then we leveled everything out. We put half-inch wood, and then we put 3/4 inch wood on top of that, plywood. So the bottom is pretty darn thick. It's a 1 1/4 inch of wood down there on the bottom, and that's going to be my floor. It's a really heavy, thick floor. So that's going to be the foundation. And then we built up from there. And here you see pretty much from the same angle you saw before, we went ahead and started building the frame, and that's right here. And once we started building the frame, everything else kind of went together pretty quick. I did build for the roof. Or at least I did purchase for the roof. I purchased a metal roof, and we put metal roof on there because there's tornadoes out there, small tornadoes, and there's hailstorms as a result of those tornadoes. So I wanted something that was pretty darn sturdy. I didn't want shingles, and I didn't want just plain wood with a lot of paint on it. So I wanted to actually build it fairly nice. It's pretty much just like it's a little shed out there, but it's converted into my blind. So I made it look as nice as I could for the least amount of money as I could. And then we got started on it. We put the plywood, and after I got the plywood together, we went ahead and put 2 coats of white primer on it. So that's going to be, the foundation for the paint. So whatever color paint I put is on top of that primer, and that primer helps seal it and makes the paint adhere to it. Because again, like I said, we have hailstorms out there, and since we have hailstorms, they really beat the heck out of the side of the blind or the side of the house and whatever we have out there. So I wanted to make sure it was on there nice and sturdy. But as you see, we went ahead and did all the primer, and then we added the color of paint for it, and then we have the door, and then you see the finished product. So I'm going to put links down below to everything that I used in here, so kind of give you an idea of what to look at so you can build this if you want. Build it in your own style. Now this particular shed, or blind as I like to call it, is a 7x8. There was a lot of cutting involved, but the cuts are straight line cuts. No angled cuts. I didn't have to do anything like that. that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and buy this kit, because I didn't want to have to do angled cuts. Although I have a miter saw and I'm pretty good at it, but I know it takes more time when you do angled cuts, and you have to really spend your time making sure you measure everything and make sure it's correct. I didn't want to spend that much time. I wanted to get this entire frame built in at least one day. And then I went out there the next day. I went out there off Saturdays and Sundays. We built it on Saturday. Sunday I went back out there and I started putting up the entire walls so I could get this thing done. And then I decided at that time, because I had a little extra time, to go ahead and put a couple of coats of primer on there. So I got pretty much everything you see up to the primer done in one weekend. The next weekend I went out there, I did the red paint. So don't forget to take a look down below where I have all the links of everything that I used in order to build this blind. It's a nice comfy blind. I ran electricity into it. I got windows in it. I even have hydraulics for the shutters. So I hope you enjoyed the first half of my video. Right here is going to be the second half of my video. Remember to subscribe and give me that thumbs up. And until next time, remember, if I can help you save money, I will help you save money.